Greetings from Tokyo, my dear friends. This is Daisuke, and I hope you are doing very, very well today. I just want to give you a little update here. The next Livestream Film Club is scheduled for September 1st, 2019, Sunday, and it's at 6 a.m. Tokyo time. Again, 6 a.m. Tokyo time. That's this coming Sunday. And the film that we will be talking about is the film Tokyo Story, directed by Yasujiro Ozu. This is going to be a film club that I am actually very nervous about because the film is such a masterwork and it's so highly regarded that I don't think I would ever be able to hope to do the film any kind of justice, or even a fraction of the level of justice that it deserves. I don't think I'd be able to give 1/10 of 1% of what I think the film deserves. But that being said, of course, I think this sort of opportunity is really great, and I count myself very fortunate to be able not only to watch the film and to listen to supplements about the film or to watch documentaries about the film, but also talk to you, my dear friends who and admirers of this film, and to hear your thoughts and comments and to learn from you. So this live stream, I think, is, as always, as with the other live streams, is going to be such a learning experience for me. And if ever there was a film for which I will need a lot of study and learning and inspiration from others, it's certainly this film, Tokyo Story. So I'm very much looking forward to the live stream in that sense, in the sense that it will help me in my own personal film journey. So, but my friends, with that, let us plan for September 1st, 2019, Sunday, 6 a.m. I will be here, and I will wake up bright and early, and it'll be my pleasure to speak with you about the film Tokyo Story. So it'll be very nice to see you there. And if you can't make it, of course, that's fine. There's no obligation to attend. But if that's the case, the video will, as always, be uploaded onto this YouTube page after the live stream is over. So you can always watch the video after that. And also, the next thing is that the live stream that's going to be after that is going to be the end of September. I'm going to have to take a couple weeks off in terms of the live stream, so I hope you can forgive me. But I will plan to have the next live stream be the last Sunday of September 2019, and that will be based on the poll results of the latest poll that I have on the community tab of my YouTube page. Now, I looked at the poll about a few hours ago, and I was stunned at the current results. There is a really great almost race going on between 3 or 4 of the films, and so it could really come down to one. It could come down to one of those. I'm not sure which is going to be end up being the winner. So if you haven't voted for what film you want to talk about in the next live stream, please feel free to go to the community tab of my YouTube page and please vote for the film that you would like to talk about. Hopefully one of those 5 will be one of the films that you would like to talk about. I hope so. If not, I really apologize. Just to let you know, the 5 films that are up on the poll are Detour, Faces, My Darling Clementine, Pickpocket, and The Thin Blue Line. The Thin Blue Line. So they are all Criterion titles. I think at the moment I am still focusing this film club on Criterion titles, although one of these days I do feel like I want to break out and talk about non-Criterion titles. I think there is a sea, a wide, vast ocean of non-Criterion titles that I would love to talk to you about in a live stream. There's so many, But just for the time being, let's stick with Criterion, because I think it's a really nice common area of, or a point of commonality, if you will, amongst you out there and myself, because I think part of the thing that I think we all, or most of us anyway, enjoy are films in the Criterion Collection. And so I think there's also a sort of ease of access, if you will, with Criterion Channel and the like. So yeah, so for the time being, I am planning on staying with Criterion titles. But please note that I'm also wanting to change that, and I want to mix things up. I want to have Criterion titles and also talk about non-Criterion titles, and I'm still trying to work that out in my head and see exactly what it is I can try to do. But I'll try to talk more about that when I have a clearer idea. But that's just generally what I'm thinking of at the moment. And also, if just in case you're interested, I do have a number of things lined up between now and the end of the year. So I do have a number of videos that I'm planning to do. I've already started making a bunch of videos regarding the films of John Carpenter. So I will hopefully be able to start uploading those when we get a little bit closer to Halloween. Can you believe it? We're almost near Halloween, and so that'll be my little fun Halloween project. Hopefully everything will be done prior to Halloween, but again, I tend to work very slowly, and so for that I really apologize. But what is it? How does the song go? Why try to change me now, I suppose. But what else? Oh yes, and there are some other works that I want to talk about, and there are other series that I want to talk about as well. I'm just trying to figure out exactly what would be the best course of action for some of these. There are a number of Criterion titles that I would like to focus on, but it's just so hard because there's just not enough hours in the day, and I wish I had more time, but alas, that is not the case right now. So there are many more things that I would like to do than hours in the day, unfortunately. And so, but I am doing my best, and I'm always getting your feedback and your suggestions about what to do next. And so I would, I mean, just to give you some ideas of what I'm thinking of, I like with Criterion, I always wanted to do a kind of breakdown of videos on some longer works of the Criterion Collection, because some of them are really fascinating, and I think they'd be worth a discussion. I'm not an expert necessarily, but for instance, I would love one day, I don't know if it can be this year, but I'd love one day to cover the series Berlin Alexanderplatz, one episode at a time. That would be one of my dream projects, actually. I'd love to do that and do a deep dive into that series. I would love, speaking of long series or long films, I would love to do that with Out One. I don't know if you know, it's not Criterion, this is the Arrow Academy release, but I don't know if you know the Jacques Rivette work from, I think, 1971, Out One. It's included here with another, there are two versions of Out One that are included here, actually. There's the serialized version, which is super, super long, and then there is the so-called shortened version, the 4.5 hour version of the story of Out One. And then there are also other films by Jacques Rivette here. But I would love, that's also one of my dream projects, one day to go through Out One, and then also the 4.5 hour version of Out One. That would be so great. Go through each episode of Out One. I don't know if I'll be able to do that, but and I'm not sure if there might. I don't know. Would you be interested in seeing that? I'm not sure. I don't know. To be perfectly frank, I don't know. I know a few people who have seen this work, and you know it very well. But I also know that it seems actually quite daunting on paper, because it's just so long, and its subject matter seems to be a bit, I don't know, inscrutable, perhaps. At least when one reads it on paper, at least that's how I felt. But I really want to say that just watching this, it just is this huge. It's this just huge sprawling work that is like a. It's hard to explain without spoiling it. So, but let me just say that it's mind blowing, absolutely mind blowing. It's divisive, I'm sure. I know people don't like it. I know some people hate it, but I know other people who are just absolutely enthralled by it. And I can't claim to understand all of its mysteries. And believe me, there are a ton of mysteries enwrapped in all of its corners and its layers. But gosh, that would be great one day to be able to talk about Out One episode by episode, and then the actual Out One Spectre version. That would be great to talk about one day. But hopefully. That might be soon, but again, who knows? Again, I tend to do this with my YouTube channel, as I tend to want to do things, and I forget to consider just the realistic, or just how realistic that proposition might be. It would be wonderful to talk about, but well, anyway, we'll see about that. And there are actually. As you know, I have done a number, maybe a couple of director series, that is, going through the works of a particular director, film by film. I recently finished that series with respect to the works of Edward Yang. I'm just just so in love with those films, and that was a really fun time for me. So, and then, as I say, I'm going to be hopefully finishing up with John Carpenter works around the time of Halloween, and then after that, it's really up in the air. I do have a number of candidates, I suppose, but I haven't quite decided yet, because the director series actually it in a very good way it takes a lot out of me, because I find that I think more so than other videos that I do on this YouTube channel, I think the ones that I do for those director series, like I did one for Dario Argento, and I did one kind of for Kurosawa, and then I did one for Edward Yang, and I'm currently doing one for Kazuo Ohara. I don't know what it is, but I find that for me, when I do those videos, and I have the pleasure of uploading them on YouTube, I find that I feel more spent of energy than other videos. I'm not quite sure what it is. Maybe it's. I feel like I have to raise my concentration level much higher in order to give the level of respect that I feel like those films deserve. And maybe that's the reason why I sometimes have a difficult time to maintain a healthy kind of schedule. I can't do it once a week, unfortunately, because I just don't have the stamina. But I have to. What it is, it's like I have to have enough stamina to do it, and after I finish a video like that, I feel like I feel a little bit tired. I mean, that's not I don't mean to be disparaging. I feel like that's a good thing, because it's really fun to spend this energy towards these films, because I think their films are just so worthwhile and so entertaining, and I learn so much from them, and I really love them. So it's so totally worth it. But at the same time, I'm only human, so it's and I have to raise my energy levels, and I am getting a little bit older, and so I'm finding that it's not so easy. I have to spend a little bit more time recharging the batteries. It takes a little bit longer than it usually would if I were, let's say, in my 20s or so. So it takes a little bit more time, a little bit more out of me, but I'm hopefully once I get fully recharged, then I will be able to focus on another film director series, and I would love to do that starting again before the year ends. So maybe after John Carpenter is done, maybe I'll do one more, and hopefully I can squeeze one more in and aim to finish that by the year's end. So and then there are just other Criterion titles that I want to focus on as well. So many. I tend to let them elude me, and once again, it's hard for me to stick with a schedule. So I really apologize, but I hope you can understand. I really don't. How should I put it? It's I suppose it's right. It's like the scorpion and the frog. Right? I can't help it. It's my nature. So I just can't help it. It's just how I tend to make these videos, and so I hope you can understand. But please note that I do have a number of things that I do want to share with you, and I want to get your input on, and I want to go on a journey with you with respect to exploring these films. And so there are a number of things, quite a few actually, that I would love to have a journey with you about, embark on a journey with you, and so hopefully I can start those in earnest very soon. But as with everything, my friends, I'm very slow, and I'm very I tend to be somewhat prone to being a little bit maybe prone to tiredness as well, so it's a little bit hard for me to pick myself up sometimes. I'd love to make more videos than I do, but it's just sometimes it's a little bit difficult, so I just ask for your patience as always with many things, and just note that I do have a number of things that I want to share with you, and I want to talk with you about and hear your thoughts about, and that I'm working as fast as I can. And because, as I think I've indicated to you before, these videos, I feel like every new video is just another opportunity for me to talk with you and to catch up with old friends and hopefully meet some new ones. And so they mean so much to me. These videos are very important to me, and I don't want to how should I put it? I really want to convey to you that I really want to share with you as much as I can, and just at the same time I apologize for my sort of limited resources and my limited capabilities and my limited intelligence, but I always ask for your patience, and I ask for your understanding all the time, and hopefully, yes, I will try to make as many videos as I can going forward, and I'll try to pick up the pace as we get closer to the year's end. But again, I can't promise anything, but again, knock on wood, hopefully things will pick up. So with that, my friends, that's just a state of things where I find myself right now. So thank you very much for your patience and your understanding and your support and your friendship and your comments and just being you, being the great film enthusiast, movie lover, and just being really energetic with your enthusiasm, inspiration, and generous with your time. It's always a pleasure for me to be able to talk with you, and I hope there are many conversations to be had between you and me in the future. So, and sooner rather than later, as I like to say. So, okay, my friends, that's it for now. So I will, I hope you are happy and healthy and well, and the same is true for your family and friends, and I hope you're watching a lot of great movies. So until we meet again, my friends, please be well, and cheers.